English speakers face a big challenge in German. In English, when you talk to people, we use the word you, and that's that. In German, there are 3 different words for you. So the question is, which you should you use? There are 3 options in German, depending on the situation. If you are talking to one person you call by their first name, in other words, a good friend or a family member, then you will use the word du. If you are talking to more than one person you call by their first names, then you will use the word ihr. If you're talking to an adult, or to multiple adults, in other words, people you call by their last names, then you'll use the word sie. Let's go into a little more detail. The word du is used for you when you are talking to one person informally. This means a person you call by his or her first name. For example, Martin, not Mr. Jones. So if your friend Martin walks up to you, you can use du because you are only talking to Martin, and because you're on a first name basis with him. For instance, you might say, Hallo Martin. Wie kommst du zur Schule? Was machst du in deiner Freizeit? The word ihr is used when you are talking to multiple people informally. In other words, this is similar to du, but this time you're addressing more than one person. There's no word for ihr in standard English, but many people say y'all or you guys in situations where a German could say ihr. So if your friends Lara and Steffi walked up, you could say, Guten Morgen, Lara und Steffi. Wie kommt ihr zur Schule? Was macht ihr gern in eurer Freizeit? Finally, there's the word sie. This word can be used in all formal situations where you are saying you to someone you'd call by their last name. Mr. Smith, not Bob. You use sie whether you're talking to one adult or to several adults. And the Germans are very strict about formality and will not be will be offended if you don't use sie when you should. By the way, what matters here is not the person's age. You can be informal with your 90-year-old grandmother, but you have to be formal with a 25-year-old salesperson at the store. What matters here is whether you are on a first-name basis with the person. If you're not, you have to use sie. And as you'll notice in the examples, it's going to be capitalized regardless of sentence position. So if your math teacher, Herr Schmidt, walked up to you, this is how it might sound. Guten Tag, Herr Schmidt. Wie kommen Sie zur Schule? Was machen Sie gern in Ihrer Freizeit? Again, notice that Sie is capitalized no matter where it is in the sentence. Finally, here are a couple things you might have noticed. The endings of the verbs are changing to account for the different words for you. You say du machst, and ihr macht, and sie machen, not just machst with each one. Also, the words for your have been changing depending on the situation. If the word for you changes, then the word for your will also change, and that's something you'll learn later this year. So here's the summary. If you need to say you in German, use du if you're talking to one friend or one family member. Use ihr if you're talking to multiple friends or family members. And use sie whenever you talk to an adult who you're not on a first name basis with.